Students, this is question number 9. We are asked to solve the pair of simultaneous equations y is equal to 4 negative 2x, y is equal to 2x squared negative 3x positive 1. So this is the first part. Now we will evaluate this first and then we will move on gradually to other parts. So I'm going to take this as 1, take this as 2. I will equate 1 with 2, we get. So since both are connected with y, I can rewrite this as 4 negative 2x is equal to 2x squared negative 3x positive 1. Bring everything to the right. So you have 2x squared negative 3x positive 2x negative 4 positive 1 is equal to 0. Add these two together, you get negative x. Add these two together, you have negative 3 is equal to 0. Now I would utilize quadratic formula. So a is equal to 2, b is equal to negative 1, c is equal to negative 3. So formula is negative b plus or minus square root of b squared negative 4ac divided by 2 times a. So negative of negative 1 plus or minus square root of negative 1 squared negative 4 times a times c is negative 3 divided by 2 times of a, which is 2. So negative negative positive. So plus or minus square root of positive negative negative positive. 4 times 2 8, 8 times 3 is 24 divided by 2 times 2 is 4. This is 1 plus or minus root of 25 divided by 4, which is 1 positive 5 divided by 4, which will give you 6 divided by 4. 2 divides here 2 times, 2 divides here 3 times. So x is equal to 3 over 2. So that is one solution because they are asking us to solve it. Now also you got 1 negative 5 divided by 4 is negative 4 over 4, which is negative 1. And you got x is equal to negative 1. Now we need to, since it is given for y, we need to get the coordinates also. So I'm going to write this. When x is equal to negative 1, you substitute y is equal to 4 negative 2 of negative 1, which is 4 positive 2, which is equal to 6. So you have a coordinate negative 1 comma 6. Also when x is equal to 3 over 2, we can substitute y is equal to 4 negative 2 of 3 over 2. So this is going to be 4 negative 2 gets cancelled, negative 3, which is going to be positive 1. So when x is 3 over 2, the coordinate is 1. So this will also be important point that you will have to specify. So this is a solution for this question. We'll move on to the next one. Now this is part B. We are asked to express 2x squared negative 3x positive 1 in the form of 8 times of x positive h the whole squared positive k, where a comma h comma k are real numbers. So now foremost what I wish to do is I would consider 2x squared negative 3x positive 1 is equal to 0. Then I would actually take the 2 out, and that would give me x squared negative 3 over 2 times x positive 1 over 2 is equal to 0. Now what I would like to do is I would take the coefficient of x, in this case which is negative 3 over 2, and then I would divide it by 2. So in this case negative 3 over 2 divided by 2, which is negative 3 over 4. Next I would square it up. So that's going to be negative 3 over 4 the whole square. Next I would add it to both sides. of say 2. So I'm going to take this as 2. So this is what we've got, right? 2 of x squared negative 3 over 2 x positive 1 over 2 is equal to 0. Now I'm going to add this. Now when I'm adding it, I would have to add it in this fashion. So x squared negative 3 over 2 x positive negative 3 over 4 the whole squared, right? So this is then have to be removed. And then you have 1 over 2. Now you need to add the same component on the right side. Now you also should notice that you have a 2 leading. So when you are adding this component negative 3 over 4 the whole squared, you have to place the 2 which is leading on the left end, because 2 is actually distributed over this component. So if we had to neutralize it, we need to represent it in this fashion. Now, having given you this, what I would like to do is I would like to rewrite this separately, followed by distributing 2 over this component, 1 over 2. So it's going to be 2 times of x squared negative 3 over 2x positive negative 3 over 4 the whole squared. Now since the square is there, this can be dropped, the negative sign inside can be dropped. And distributing 2, you have 2 times of 1 over 2 is equal to 2 times of 3 squared divided by 4 squared. Now this is actually a perfect square. You can rewrite or represent this as a perfect square. How do we represent this as a perfect square? First is x followed by, now since you have a negative sign here, you just have to place a negative sign. And then you go up over here. What is the component that you have actually utilized in squaring? The component which we used here is 3 over 4, right? So just place that 3 over 4. Negative sign is there, so I've already placed the negative sign. All you need now is just place 3 over 4 and then you square it. Now just to show you how exactly this x negative 3 over 4 produces this, you square it. If I were to square this, I would get x squared negative 2 times of 3 over 4 positive 3 over 4 squared. So you expand it, you get x squared negative 2 divides 4 2 times, so 3 over 2. Of course there is a x there, followed by 3 squared and 4 squared. So you go and check over here, x squared negative 3 over 2 times x, okay, fair enough, positive 3 squared over 4 squared. So this is exactly what we have got here. So having mentioned you that, so this representation is correct. Now you need to actually bring all this component on the right hand side to the left hand side. So this 2 and 2 can be cancelled, giving us 1. Now this is going to be 2 times of 3 squared, I am going to write it as 9, and 4 squared I am going to write it as 16 is equal to 0. Now you will have to simplify this. So this is 2 times of x negative 3 over 4 the whole squared. 2 divides here 8 times, so you got 1 negative 9 over 8. You have to simplify this. So this is going to be 8 negative 9, which is negative 1 over 8. So place that negative 1 over 8 is equal to 0. Now you don't have to equate it to 0. The requirement is that represent 2 times of x squared negative 3x positive 1 in the form of 8 times of x positive h the whole squared positive k. So I have to represent this. So this is nothing but 2 times of x. Since I have a positive sign here, I'm going to write it as positive of negative 3 over 4. The entire component is raised to the power of 2, followed by positive of negative 1 over 8. Okay. Now what is the value of h? You can write that down here, where h is equal to negative 3 over 4 and you also have a k is equal to negative 1 over 8. So that completes the solution for this question. Now you got part C. In part C it says that using your answer find the minimum value of 2x squared negative 3x positive 1. That's one part of the question. The second part of the question is we are asked to find the value of x where the minimum occurs. Okay, now we know, so this is the solution. So what do we know? We know that 2 times x squared negative 3x positive 1 is represented as 2 times of x positive of negative 3 over 4. This entire thing is raised to the power of 2 followed by positive of negative 1 over 8, right? Now when this entire component becomes 0, you get the value negative 1 over 8, which is the least value. So let me rewrite this in this fashion: 2 times of x negative 3 over 4 the whole squared negative 1 over 8. Now when this becomes 0, you arrive at the minimum value negative 1 over 8. So I'm going to rewrite that. So when 2 times of x negative 3 over 4 becomes equal to 0, this means we get negative 1 over 8, which is the minimum value. Now we have to locate the point of x which is producing this negative 1 over 8. Now since 2 times of x negative 3 over 4 is equal to 0, this means x negative 3 over 4 is equal to 0. This means x is equal to 3 over 4. Okay? So you will have to state these things. So how are you going to state it? So for 1, the minimum value is equal to negative 1 over 8, and then for 2, the value of x equal to 3 over 4 produces the minimum value. Okay, so that completes the solution for this question. We move on to the next one. Now we got part D. We are asked to find the coordinates of the minimum point. This is one part, and then we are asked to find the value of y-intercept. This is the next part, and then the values of x where the graph cuts the x-axis. So we have to get all of this. So let me move on to the next page. We need a ruler. So we have y is equal to 2 times x squared negative 3x positive 1, right? We got this. Now the axis of symmetry has to be found. Axis of symmetry is given by x is equal to negative b over 2a. Now from here, a is equal to 2, b is equal to negative 3, and c is equal to 1. So if you substitute that, negative of negative 3, 2 times of a is 2. So you get x is equal to 3 over 4. Now over here, a is equal to 2 greater than 0. So therefore the graph is U-shaped. Right? Now we are asked to find the intercepts. So foremost I will get the y-intercept. To get the y-intercept, you put x is equal to 0 in, say, 3. I'm going to take this as 3. So y is equal to 2 times of 0 squared negative 3 times of 0 positive 1. Therefore y is equal to 1. So what is the intercept? When x is equal to 0, y is equal to 1. Okay, now we have to get the x-intercept. To get the x-intercept, we put y is equal to 0 in 3. So what is 3? We have y is equal to 2 times x squared negative 3x positive 1. So we put y is equal to 0 here. This would mean I get 2 times x squared negative 3x positive 1 is equal to 0. So a is equal to 2, b is equal to negative 3 and c is equal to 1. I use quadratic formula. Negative b plus or minus root of b squared negative 4ac divided by 2 times of a. This is negative of negative 3 plus or minus negative 3 squared negative 4 times a, and c is 1 divided by 2 times of a. A is 2. So this is equal to 3 plus or minus root of 3 squared is 9, 4 times 2 is 8 divided by 4. So this is going to be 3 plus root of 1 is going to be 1 divided by 4. So this means 4 over 4, which is equal to 1. There is also 3 negative 1 over 4, which is negative 2 over 4, which is negative 1 over 2. So we have 2 points. So this is actually positive. Okay, this is positive, not negative. So this is going to be 0.5 and this is going to be 1. So the graph crosses the x-axis at x is equal to 1 and x is equal to 0.5. So these are 2 points. Now if you remember, I got the axis of symmetry. X is equal to negative b over 2a is 3 over 4, which is nothing but 0.75. Now we can represent it like this or like this. I will use this one to plot the point on the graph. So we have the following. What are the things we have? We have got x-intercept. X-intercept is x is equal to 1 and x is equal to 1 over 2. We got the y-intercept when x is equal to 0. So this component arises when y is equal to 0. So this component will arise when x is equal to 0. And the value is y is equal to 1. Right. So this is exactly what we have got. And then, as I mentioned to you, now this is the lowest point, or I would say this is the minimum value. Now the graph wants us, or the question wants us, the coordinate of this minimum value. So for that, put x is equal to 3 over 4 in y is equal to 2x squared negative 3x positive 1. So it's going to be 2 times of 3 over 4 squared negative 3 times of 3 over 4 positive 1. This is going to be 2 times of 9 over 16, 9 over 4 positive 1. So I'm going to use this space. 2 divides here 8 times. So you have 9 over 8 negative 9 over 4 positive 1. So I take 8 as LCM. I get 9 negative, 9 2 is 18 positive 8. So 9 and 8 17 negative 18. That's going to be negative 1 over 8. So therefore the coordinate for the minimum value is 3 over 4 comma negative 1 over 8. That is the value that we will have to plot. Okay, so having got this, let me do the plotting. I'm going to use this page. So let me draw the graph. And okay, so this is x-axis and this is y-axis. Now since a is equal to 2 and greater than 0, the graph is u-shaped. You will have to state this. The graph is what? U-shaped. Okay, and this point is 0. When x is 0, y value hits 1, that is 1 point, and the lowest value is 3 over 4. If this point is -1, we have to get the axis of symmetry. Okay, let me get the axis of symmetry. This is going to be 1. Axis of symmetry is 0.75, so this is going to be 3 over 4. Roughly 3 over, or I would say I'll put this point over here, 3 over 4. And x-intercept, there are 2 points where x is making an intercept. So we will have to get that intercept. So x is equal to 1 is 1 point. And then x is equal to 0.5 is the next point. So 0.5 should be somewhere over here. So 0.5 is somewhere over here. Now probably this point should be centered. Okay, the axis of symmetry should be centered. So let me just draw the axis of symmetry. Now we have found this 3 over 4, it has a coordinate -1 over 8. So 3 over 4 comma -1 over 8. So this is going to be our minimum value, and this is very close to the x-axis. So you can simply state that as -1 over 8 here, right? So this coordinate is going to be 3 over 4 comma -1 over 8, and this will be the point here, very close to the x-axis. It's approximately 0.125 or so. So now what you have to do is you will have to hit these following points. So figure is not to scale. So after you have drawn the figure, probably you can mark these points. So there is a hit here. Okay, so and then the graph raises up like this. Okay, so this intersection is 1, 0, and this intersection I'm going to take it as 0.5, right? That's 1 over 2. So I will specify it here, 1 over 2, 0, right? Just ignore this line because of the restrictive limitations that we have when we are drawing using a hard pen like this. So that is the U-shaped. Okay, so you try to achieve that curl. Okay, you try to achieve that curl for a U-shaped graph using, I don't want to stress it more. So that is got. Now we are expected to plot the intersection. So that is the next point. So -1, 6. So -1, 6 is if I were to take this this one as -1. So -1, 6 is, there is a hit here. Okay, so that point of intersection we will have to produce. So if this is approximately 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, so this will be, figure is not to scale, so -1, 6 I'm taking it over there, and I can just mention it, -1, 6, and then you have 3 over 2, 1. 3 over 2 will be 1.5. So this is 1, and if this is 2, this point is 2, 1.5 is over here. So 3 over 2, 1. So that is going to be over here. Okay, 3/2, 1. So now the point is that this is going to be the line, and our U-shaped graph will hit like this, right? So this is one intersection, and this is the next intersection for the line. So you will have to join these 2 points. You can use some other color, right? This is the line, and the line is moving up. So this point of intersection is going to be 3/2, 1, and this point is -1, 6. And you can probably state 6 there. So that is how the graph looks. And figure is not to scale, and we can move on.